Phương Thảo extends greetings and thanks to all viewers who have come to 24 Hours channel. We wish you a day full of energy and productive work. Today, we will bring you the latest news about political and social situation, continuously updated within the past 24 hours. Now, please join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, catastrophes continue to submerge China water as of last night. Unexpectedly, 3 earthquakes with magnitudes ranging from 4.1 to 6.9 on the Richter scale struck the southern regions of China, accompanied by superfloods pouring down from the upper reaches of the Tamheap Dam. This resulted in the ancient tourist destination of Fuanghong being submerged up to 11 meters. Opulent entertainment venues favored by China's elite and places boasting the most beautiful women in the country were also flattened. Towering buildings, once 9 to 10 stories high, are now reduced to their top floors, the only parts not submerged. Approximately 100 million Chinese citizens are fleeing in panic, with half of them seeking refuge in the Van Lai Trong Than tourist site. The rest are attempting to cross the borders to Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. However, the borders of Vietnam and Laos remain tightly closed, while Cambodia is eagerly accepting mainland Chinese people. It is rumored that Prime Minister Hun Sen's administration has formed a close alliance with the Chinese regime, allegedly receiving substantial financial support from the government of Mr. Xi Jinping. This is why no country in the world is helping China during these storms, floods, strong winds, droughts, earthquakes, and tsunamis. China is ready to risk everything to oppose the world. During this period, China is enduring the worst storms and floods in its history, resulting in many cities in the southern part of the country being submerged, causing immense hardship for the people. The resurgent COVID-19 pandemic is also affecting Beijing and Wuhan, while other calamities continue to occur, leaving the Chinese authorities deeply anxious and worried. Social media and international media are continuously sharing videos recorded by Chinese citizens, showcasing the relentless deluges, floods, typhoon Fangba, earthquakes, and tsunamis, relentlessly besieging the Tamheap Dam and the Yangtze River. Over 300 other rivers in China are causing great distress for the Xi Jinping regime, with 31 provinces in the southern part of China being submerged. At the moment, China has endured 41 sleepless nights due to the continuous onslaught of floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, and landslides. The lives of 100 million Chinese citizens have been disrupted, and half of them sought refuge in the Van Lai Trong Than tourist site. The others attempted to cross the borders to Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. However, the borders of Vietnam and Laos remain tightly closed, while Cambodia is eagerly accepting mainland Chinese people. It is rumored that Prime Minister Hun Sen's administration has formed a close alliance with the Chinese regime, allegedly receiving substantial financial support from the government of Mr. Xi Jinping. The Xi Jinping regime is disregarding all rules and international laws, leading to deep concerns for Asian countries and the global community. Facing such urgent and dangerous situations, officials in the 31 provinces of southern China have called on their citizens to exercise extreme caution. They advise people to stay indoors if there is no urgent need to go outside. China is grappling with countless difficulties from floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis. Yesterday, thunder and lightning also appeared, causing the national power grid of China to collapse. All 31 provinces in the south live under a sky shrouded in darkness, signaling that China is approaching its days of collapse. According to the Buyin Honan newspaper, the official media outlet of the Communist Party of China, Beijing is still facing very heavy storms and floods from the upper reaches of the Tamheap Dam, and there is no sign of abating. Some citizens believe that from the beginning of the year until October, continuous and prolonged rainfall has led to rising floodwaters. Almost all the rivers in the 31 provinces in southern China are at their highest alert level, and there is a high possibility of dikes breaking in many locations. Many domestic and international hydraulic experts have predicted that if the relentless storms and torrential rains continue in China in the coming months, there is a 99% chance of the Tamheap Dam breaking. If the dam breaks, the reservoir with a capacity of 60 billion cubic meters will overflow, submerging 2/3 of Beijing and spilling into the East China Sea. At that point, China will vanish from the world map, which is considered a dreadful and sorrowful event for China. Unfortunately, yesterday, the Central Meteorological and Hydrological Center of China announced another devastating news for China. It was predicted that in the upcoming time, rain, storms, and floods would continue without any signs of abating. This indicates that the likelihood of the dikes and branches of the Yangtze River breaking is at 98%, leaving officials in the Xi Jinping administration deeply fearful. They claim that they will come up with an unimaginable solution to fight against nature. However, no one in the world can stand against Mother Nature. It is believed that China has fired a bullet at Mother Nature by constructing and destroying numerous villages and forests to build the Tamheap Dam, blocking water and preventing it from flowing to the Mekong River or other neighboring countries' rivers, aiming to establish a rich national power grid. But Mother Nature became angry when this atomic bomb was spread across the regions of China. Many people argue that when constructing the Tamheap Dam, China did not consult experts or architects. They built dam after dam to control water flow, and now China is reaping the natural consequences, which is entirely deserved. This is a profound lesson not only for China but for all countries in the world. We must continuously raise awareness to protect natural resources, preserve forests and seas, refrain from invading neighboring countries, and refrain from deploying troops and warships to seize the South China Sea, causing discord with other countries in the region, as the Xi Jinping administration has done recently. Otherwise, we will face the consequences. Observers believe that nature and Mother Nature are fair. While many countries in the world are living in peace with favorable weather conditions, China is constantly bearing unexpected and dark consequences. This shows that if one acts maliciously, they will receive the corresponding retribution. Ladies and gentlemen, there is some very recent and concerning news that came out yesterday. The renowned news agency Reuters published a comprehensive analysis and article about the floods and droughts in China. According to Reuters, China has suffered nearly $15 billion in damages due to rain, storms, floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis. The Tamheap Dam has been facing countless challenges and difficulties. There is a high likelihood that it will break in the near future, up to 95%, if the rainfall and floods in China do not cease. Reuters reported that the flood control system in southern China is facing many challenges as the prolonged floods have lasted for nearly 41 days, without stopping around the Yangtze River, also known as the Doomsday River in China. The continuous heavy rains have caused at least 121 casualties and disappearances, and severely affected the lives of 20 million people living along the Yangtze River. Furthermore, in the first 6 months of this year, natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, volcanic eruptions, dragon spouts, and recently thunder and lightning have caused severe damage to China's economy. It has resulted in the collapse of 19,000 houses, with economic losses amounting to $15 billion, and these figures are still being updated. The total damages caused by the floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, and landslides in China are immeasurable. According to the meteorological warning, heavy rains are expected to continue widely until the end of April. Wuhan City in Hubei province, where the first COVID outbreak in the world occurred, has been struggling with heavy rains and storms in recent days. Wuhan is a major transportation hub and an economic and cultural center in China, and China's proud of it. However, experts have observed that the city has been submerged by floods, mudslides, and landslides in the past 4 months, turning it into a desert. Currently, the water level in Wuhan has reached 26.79 meters, 2 meters higher than the red alarm level. All areas are still submerged in floodwater. Hubei province has experienced 16 heavy rainstorms since the rainy season began in late May, severely affecting 25 million people and causing economic losses in the billions of US dollars. According to Li Ning, the representative of the Yangtze River Water Resources Management Committee in China, the Beijing government has 40 reservoirs that function to regulate water flow and prevent floods. However, with the unexpected and prolonged heavy rains in recent days, Beijing's officials and authorities have been issuing continuous emergency alerts. They have stated that if the rainfall does not cease in the coming days, many large provinces and cities in China will be submerged in floodwaters.
The recent information concludes our news bulletin. Thank you all for your attention and viewership. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to receive the fastest and most accurate news update from 24 Hours channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next video.